Reacher Season 2 gives the show something it's been missing now at its midway point. Season 2 of Prime Video's Reacher is already off to an exceptional start. Picking up over 2.5 years after the first season, Jack Reacher, Alan Ritchson, returns as he seeks to solve the murders of his former teammates of the 110th Special Investigations Unit of the Military Police. To get to the bottom of the murders, Reacher is joined by the remaining members of his old unit, including Frances Neagley, Maria Sten, who returns from the first season, forensic accountant Carla Dixon, Serinda Swan, and the silver-tongued legal expert David O'Neill, Sean Sipos. Based on the 11th book in author Lee Child's Jack Reacher saga, Bad Luck in Trouble, Reacher Season 2 shakes up the format of the show to offer a refreshing change of pace. That comes in the form of Reacher reuniting with his old military unit. The new season contrasts with the first season, where Reacher forms a ragtag investigation team with Detective Oscar Finley, Malcolm Goodwin, and Deputy Roscoe Conklin, William Fitzgerald, of the Margrave Police Department to solve the murder of Reacher's older brother, Joe Reacher. Season 2's decision to adapt the 11th book in the series to showcase Reacher reforming his old investigation team is a welcome change, and it introduces something that was lacking in Season 1. Reacher Season 2 reveals more about the special investigators. Throughout the first season of Reacher, there are many references and stories about Reacher's time in the military when he led an elite team of investigators in the Army's military police. However, there are only a few brief flashbacks to Reacher's days as a soldier, and none show him with his 110th unit. The only frame of reference to offer a deeper look at Reacher's days as a special investigator are his scenes with Neagley, who appears later in the season to assist her old boss with the investigation of Joe's murder and the nefarious activities of the Kleiner Foundation. In Episode 6, Papier, Reacher reveals to Finley that Army let me put together my own special investigations unit. Pentagon thought it would fail, which is why they put me in charge. There were 9 of us. When Finley presses Reacher about what happened to his old teammates, other than Neagley, Reacher responds that he has no idea. From the first season, the series sets up the 110th unit as an elite team of special investigators. However, they were only referenced in the show in the past tense through exposition. Viewers never got to see the 110th in action, except for Reacher and Neagley. From the first episode of Season 2, however, Reacher showcases the very beginning of the 110th in its infancy. Major Reacher handpicks and recruits the unit's members, and each one brings something unique to the team. While the flashback narrative in Season 1 showcased Reacher's youth growing up on military bases with his family, Season 2's flashback narrative showcases Reacher forming the 110th unit and how the team became a legendary, seasoned group of military police officers. This is the first time in any type of visual media that the audience sees Reacher's time as an MP officer. Not even the Jack Reacher film starring Tom Cruise showcased any of his military service. Seeing Reacher in this crucial period of his life adds layers and dimensions to the character as he forges bonds with his new teammates before they embark on a life working together for many years. The flashback scenes also depict Reacher's behavior and acumen as a leader and superior officer. He has no problem giving his team orders and keeping them in line, and he's also the first one to back them up in a fight. Reacher leads by example and has no problem earning and maintaining his teammates' trust. But in addition to forming a team of hotshot investigators, he finds a second family. When the first season of Reacher hit Amazon Prime in 2022, it made an immediate splash, introducing viewers to Jack Reacher, a hulking ex-military policeman with a thirst for justice. Played by the physically imposing Alan Ritchson, Reacher's debut was everything fans of Lee Child's novels hoped for: gritty, action-packed, and unapologetically brutal. The first season followed the events of Killing Floor, the first novel in Child's long-running series, and captured the hard-hitting tone of the books well. But while Reacher made a solid impact as an entertaining thriller, it was missing a key ingredient that could have taken it to the next level. Season 2, based on early impressions, is finally bringing that element into focus: emotional depth and complexity. Reacher, the untouchable Avenger. The first season of Reacher set a high bar for adrenaline-fueled action. It leaned into the physicality of its main character. Ritchson's Jack Reacher is an imposing figure, exuding quiet confidence and deadly efficiency. As an ex-MP-turned-drifter, Reacher has no qualms about beating down thugs, facing off against corrupt law enforcement, or taking justice into his own hands. The narrative unfolded like a classic revenge thriller, with Reacher drawn into a murder investigation that revealed deep corruption in the small town of Margrave, Georgia. But while the action was unrelenting and the plot twisty enough to keep viewers engaged, something was missing from the show's core: an emotional arc. Reacher, though compelling as a stoic, nearly invincible force of nature, lacked a sense of vulnerability. He felt untouchable, and while that's in keeping with his character from the books, it also made him somewhat one-dimensional. There was little room for growth or change in his journey. He bulldozed his way through enemies and obstacles with remarkable ease, and while that made for fun action, it limited the show's potential to explore deeper themes or character dynamics. The human side of Reacher, Season 2 of Reacher, promises to be a game-changer in this regard. While details about the plot remain closely guarded, early trailers and hints from the showrunners suggest that this season will delve deeper into Reacher's psyche. Based on Bad Luck and Trouble, the 11th novel in Child series, the second season sees Reacher reuniting with old comrades from his military days, the members of the 110th MP Special Investigations Unit. The storyline is rooted in the bonds of friendship, loyalty, and betrayal, offering fertile ground for the kind of emotional weight that the first season lacked. In this season, Reacher isn't just an outsider taking on small-town corruption. He's a man revisiting his past and dealing with the personal impact of seeing people he once trusted in danger. This shift in narrative focus is vital because it allows Reacher to confront his emotional history and confront his vulnerabilities. The dynamic between him and his former colleagues will likely bring out a more nuanced side of the character, showing that even the seemingly unbreakable Jack Reacher is capable of emotional complexity. Building emotional stakes, one of the key challenges for Reacher as a series has always been balancing the character's near-superhuman physical abilities with a grounded emotional story. Reacher, by design, is a drifter who doesn't form lasting attachments, a loner who solves problems with his fists and doesn't stay in one place for long. However, Season 2 smartly addresses this by surrounding Reacher with people who knew him before his nomadic lifestyle. This connection to his past offers a rare opportunity to humanize Reacher without sacrificing the tough-as-nails persona that makes him compelling. The decision to focus on Reacher's former military unit adds emotional stakes to the action, making the fights and confrontations more personal. Rather than just facing off against anonymous bad guys, Reacher is now dealing with threats to people he cares about, which elevates the tension. His loyalty to his team and the possibility of betrayal from within forces him to grapple with emotions he usually keeps buried. This creates room for character development, showing audiences a Reacher who is more than just a hammer looking for nails. The importance of vulnerability in many ways. The addition of emotional complexity is what's been missing from Reacher since its inception. Action alone can only carry a series so far, and while Season 1 delivered on the visceral thrills, it's the quieter moments, the introspective beats, that can make Season 2 more impactful. Vulnerability doesn't make a character weak, it makes them relatable. By giving Reacher people to care about, the stakes become more tangible. Viewers will not only root for him to take down the villains, but also to protect the relationships that matter to him.